Since Atari released the arcade game Breakout in 1976, video games have been all about freedom and revolution and hitting blocks out of walls with a little glowing dot. Of course, not all games are about that, not even Breakout. Except the breaking blocks part. That is, in fact, what Breakout was about. And so was Taito's 1986 release Arkanoid, which was an updated take on the then decade-old Atari game. In Arkanoid, the paddle you control is actually a spaceship called Voss, which has survived the destruction of its mothership, Arkanoid. Voss then gets caught in some crazy, trippy part of outer space by the Easter Island head-looking being known as Doe. And to set yourself free, you gotta break his space blocks or something. I don't know, I'm losing the story now, but basically Arkanoid is a spacey update to Breakout. In addition to a zany backstory and flashier graphics, Arkanoid also added power-ups that could give your paddle things like lasers or the ability to catch the ball. And there's also various enemies on screen that can't hurt your paddle directly, but do disrupt the travel of the ball. Arkanoid was a great success in the arcade and also across many home platforms, and it spawned several follow-ups, including this one, Arkanoid R2000, released in 1999 for the PlayStation. But R2000 is actually just a slight upgrade to the 1997 game Arkanoid Returns, which was released on both the PlayStation and in arcades. As near as I can tell, the main or potentially only difference between R2000 and Returns is the addition of Dualshock support. R2000 features the standard arcade mode, as well as an extra mode which has tons of new levels. It also has a 2-player squash mode where you can take on a human opponent in something resembling squash, combined with Breakout. It's Squash Out. Or Break Squash, but you know, squash are cool. I wouldn't want to break them unless I'm getting ready to eat them. You can also design your own boards in edit mode, which you can see me doing here at a very sped up rate. R2000 features mouse support, which I can't test as I don't have a mouse, and also support for this paddle controller shown in the manual. It looks the same as the one included with the limited edition of Puchi Carat, which is a game whose name I'm sure I just mispronounced. But anyway, I don't have that controller either. I also wonder if a JogCon might work, but again, I don't have that. I basically don't know anything, and I can't imagine why you're even watching this. But I do, of course, have a Dualshock, and using the analog stick, the control is pretty good. You can adjust your baseline paddle speed in the options, and of course, using the analog functionality of the stick, you can control how fast or slow you move, and plus you can hold down the X or square button to make it move faster. I find the biggest control issue is when you just want to make a tiny adjustment. I sometimes end up either not moving the paddle at all, or moving it too far. Arkanoid is an interesting update of Breakout, emphasizing tricky angles and shots over raw speed. As the levels get more difficult, it sometimes walks a fine line between challenging and frustrating, but if you keep at it, you will eventually, through either luck or skill, knock out that last block. If you have the ability to play Japanese games, Arkanoid R2000 is a really nice title for the PlayStation, adding much appreciated Dualshock support to Arkanoid Returns, and if you're a fan of the Arkanoid series, you can't really go wrong with this one.